Hi, so I'm Victoria, the YPBF rep,
I'm Mark, I'm one of the champions for this year and I'm from Bracknell Forest.
and the first topic of an Iron Word is cost of living.
So from this presentation, we're able to see 77% of young people are struggling to buy food and be stunned all the time. The same thing was priced with this is quite obvious given the cost of how much food is nowadays. Local authorities sometimes also have food banks or pantries within their care leavers hub, which is helpful, which is useful in times of need.
So, has the cost of living crisis had an impact on your mental health? 75% of care leavers, care experience people told us that the cost of living crisis had an impact on their mental health. YPBMF did not find this surprising. So 75% of them said yes, 16% said no, and 9% said not sure or prefer not to say.
So this one is regarding about how worried they've felt about the level of debt which they have. 60% were worried, which is quite a high number of how worried they were about their debt. But it is great to see that many individuals, which is by 32%, was actually not worried. So that's quite good. And one thing that we worked out is that this will be majorly impacting their mental health because it's something that will be on their mind all the time. So lots of care experienced people are struggling to buy food and concerned about debts. And this is if they've already received any additional financial support from local authorities. And it's a good thing to see that 43% of people said yes. But we were surprised that a few so few reported receiving financial assistance over the year.
So, have you placed yourself in a vulnerable position to help pay for essentials such as food and heating? 38% of people said that they have put themselves in a vulnerable position to pay for essentials. This could be higher actually, as this is something that young people may underreport or not feel comfortable reporting. It is very worrying that care experienced young people are more vulnerable to exploitation because of the cost of living crisis. 42% said no, and 20% said they're not sure or prefer not to say.
So here are some about what support they received that's helped. So some of the positive responses, and the top one, which is very good, is that the support from a personal advisor is very important, and that was most frequently mentioned. Also that county tax exemption is helpful. Also that food vouchers make a massive difference, and also regular food vouchers every month. University accommodation also being paid for, term time and out of term, and also the cost of living payments such as household support fund.
Some of the negative responses are unfortunately multiple mentions of no support or not much support, and also big challenges for young people living out of areas. So some of the care experience views and experiences are direct quotes from young people. If you were a normal child or a young adult in a normal home, you could ask parents to help out with costs. I think we should be the same. I have no one to turn to like others do.
Another one was mental support for trauma is working, but that's it for me. Nothing else is supporting me. I'm in crushing debt every month because every month I can't pay my utility bills. However, their PA is lovely though.
I haven't received any support yet, but it should be coming. Everything is a struggle. My wage is just not enough to live on, but not enough to do things I actually want to do. Just to live.
So these are some of the things of what do they think would be helpful to support care experienced young people with the cost of living. So one of the first things is getting about. So that's to work, seeing family, recreation, so helping to fund driving lessons, free public transport, help in the crisis, such as food vouchers or food boxes with essentials, better EET, which including support for graduates between graduating and getting a job, and also finally being ambitious for young people, so focus on making it possible to save for the future, and that's around financial advice around savings, credit and mortgages. So here's another view from a care experienced person. So I think that more focus needs to be placed on recognising that once young people start working full time, they should not be paying for everything. They should be saving for the future.
So some local authority asks, assume we are struggling, provide all care leavers with regular food vouchers, assuming that the majority are struggling and it's hard to keep coming back and asking. Funding for additional and specific needs, think about financial needs of particular groups of young people, example, providing for young parents, funding for activities with their children and graduates. Help us become more independent, so fully fund driving lessons and find local transport solutions, and the cost of living payment. So ring fence fund, example of the household fund for care experienced young people were not already in place.
So some of the national answers we have. So give over 25 rate reviews universal credit to care experienced young people from the age of 18. Unlike many, they're living and supporting themselves independently and don't have others to turn to for financial support. Free transport. Influence all areas to provide free or discounted buses, trams, trains, like an over 60s car pass, but for children. Local funding to care leavers as a priority group. Ensure that all authorities recognise care leavers as a priority group for cost of living payments. Also extend the household support fund and ensure it is ring-fenced. And also to walk in our shoes. Find out what it's like to live on the average income of a care experienced individual in the current cost of living crisis.